Hey, this is Gabby Delisme with Facing Finances. It's day 5 of Financial Capability Month, and we're dropping another video to help you along this journey to financial freedom. This week's episodes are all focused on credit. This is the credit game, Play to Win. In the previous videos, we talked about FICO and the credit bureaus and how basically over the course of someone's lifetime, they're potentially giving away about $200,000 in additional expenses when they don't have good credit. So if you missed any of those videos, make sure you check them out. There's a playlist that's called Financial Capability Week, and all of the videos from this month are going to be uploaded there. All right, well, let's get to it. So the name of this series is called The Credit Game, Play to Win. Well, how can you possibly play to win if you don't know the rules of the game? Well, we're about to give you the rule book right now. Once you know the rules, you can maneuver in such a way that's favorable to you achieving your financial goals. So if you had a test that was coming up and your teacher gave you the answer key and says it's open book, are you going to use the book to get to your answers, or are you going to approach it haphazardly? Well, most people, I would guess, are going to use the answer key and increase their likelihood of winning or of succeeding on the test. Well, here's the answer key for your FICO score. Here's what makes up the pie: payment history, amounts owed, length of credit history, new credit, and credit mix. My bad, I got those two reversed. All right, well, let's get into the breakdowns and what they actually mean. Now, payment history accounts for 35% of your FICO score. The amounts owed accounts for 30%. 15% is made up of length of credit history. 10% is made up of credit mix. And then the last 10% is new credit. Okay, so I mentioned that payment history is 35% of your FICO score. This is a huge chunk of the pie. This is how often you're paying on time each month. Remember the test example I gave earlier? Well, there are 5 things on this exam, and payment history makes up 35% of it. On-time payments are critical. This is the most impactful thing on your credit score. So some of the things that you can do to minimize your chances of being late on payments are like setting up automatic payments through your financial institutions or setting up payment reminders on your smartphones. Okay, well, we've covered the biggest chunk of the test, so let's move on to the next biggest piece, which is amounts owed. And amounts owed makes up 30% of your FICO score. This is basically how much of your revolving credit that you're actually using. And revolving credit is like your credit card debt. And installment loans would be things like student loans, car loans, things with fixed payments. You absolutely should not use more than 30% of your available credit. And even doing 30%, you don't receive the highest credit score that you could be getting. I tell folks to stick to 15 to 20% because what'll happen is people will make charges and then not factor in taxes, or maybe they forget something and then bam, they're up against the 30% marker or over the 30%. And you don't want to take a hit on your credit score because you are using too much of your available credit. So do yourself a favor and stick to using 20% as your barometer. And so how do you know what this is? Well, find out how much revolving credit that you actually have and determine what 20% of that is and stick to it. So if you have a $500 credit limit, that means you should use no more than $100. All right. So we've covered 2 points on the test and we're already at 65% of the material. 65% is a huge chunk. Well, let's move on to length of credit history. This looks at how long your oldest credit accounts have been on your credit profiles. So when you get a new line of credit, that actually brings your average down. Now for credit mix. Credit mix makes up 10% of your credits or your FICO score, and this is the type of credit that you have extended to you. So this would include student loans, car notes, a mortgage, and any revolving credit that you have. So a person that has a diverse mix of credit is deemed a better credit risk. All right. Now let's talk about new credit. New credit accounts for 10% of your credit score. This is basically any new lines of credit that you apply for. The look back is roughly 18 to 24 months, but FICO doesn't release that information because their software is proprietary and, they want to keep their algorithms all to themselves. I know that we've covered a lot. So you can succeed and have the financial success that you desire if you set your goals and are diligent in working towards them. If you have any questions, feel free to hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn, and you can find us at Facing Finances. You can also send me an email directly. It's Gabby, Gaby, at facingfinances.com. And tomorrow, we're going to be looking at some additional aspects of credit and maintaining good credit. So we do have some special events that are going to be coming up and special offers. Make sure you stay in the know by joining our mailing list on the website, and the website is facingfinances.com. Thanks so much for joining us, and I will see you in the next video.